this is Source West, Black Circle Studios, Black Circle Radio. And yeah, we're talking about the program in general. And so one of the processes that goes on with Black Circle, and that is the incorporation of the 1949 Reco Cut mono, all vacuum tube, Presto 1C cutting head, lathe, and Arc of All, Jordan Price, who started the radio show with me in 2009 in college, and how him and I work together daily on music and programming and positive messaging. And so he'll record all analog sources and messaging over in his studio, Source East, over here, Source West, and then he'll send them to me, and I'll put organ, it's a Hammond L100 over there. And this is like a, I don't know what year it is. It's a Mittenwald from West Germany upright. And then I will master them, play over them, and cut them to the lathe. And that'll be done. When that's all done, I will use those as the music beds for Black Circle Radio. It's been quite a journey, but what is going on with the setup, this is the mastering chain right here for the lathe, not digital or stereo mastering. That's all right here. That's the digital broadcasting master chain. But with the record lathe, it's a Crown preamp tube from the 50s, and that was from a old reel-to-reel recorder. And then on top here, this one, that's a Fairchild Conax, it's called, and model 600, and it's a high frequency de-esser limiter. Really neat piece of equipment. It's got like those really smoking UTC transformers in it, and essentially what that does is just tames sibilants, right? From whether that be cymbals or snare buzz on the bottom of the snare, or spoken word too, like my little lisp. That thing really helps tame it. And then it goes into the cutting amp, and then up to the head, and then boom, there we go. And then we have a record. That's all mono, all tube. And the stereo chain is different in that regard. It starts with a tube saturation stage, but then it's mostly broadcast. Orban is the name of the company that makes broadcast grade compressors, limiters, etc. And also a TK audio master bus compressor limiter. So TAC reel-to-reel there, that used for flavor, and also a lot for recording though, with all sorts of different microphones. And the preamps on reel-to-reels are just amazing sounding. They're so good. Mm-hmm. So that's that portion. For me every day, I'm just like kind of blown away, and I'm really grateful that everything is now working together perfectly, which mm-hmm. is amazing.
Yeah, especially with vintage gear, that can be a challenge at times, right? Keeping everything working together.
Yes, and there's like over here, I'll just move the camera slightly and move it back. Over here, that's the workbench area.
Probably gets a lot of use.
I'm starting just out of necessity, and I've been getting a lot better at soldering and all that good stuff to be able to upkeep the gear here, because like you said, I mean, especially the vintage stuff, it's difficult at times to make sure that everything's functioning correctly. This is where I'm working and producing and all podcasts and stuff that I work on. Harbor Hospice. This is I Couldn't Do Your Job as Harbor Hospices, and this is the situation. hosted by Bernard Stewart, Big Brother B, and then also the Acoustics podcast. All gets produced or uploaded, scheduled, all the above in here.
Cool.
Yeah. Over on the back wall, I don't know if you can kind of see it. You can see the little glow next to the Klipschorns over there.
Yeah.
That's the linear tube audio MZ3.
Oh yeah, that's the control panel. I recognize that.
Yeah.
I have one on the other side of my room. It's not currently glowing, but it glows a lot of the time.
I don't shut that thing off. Like
Yeah.
I don't know why. It doesn't need to be shut off. I don't think. Like it doesn't generate like any heat. It's
Yeah, for a piece of tube gear, runs pretty cool.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah. And there's no like filament noise or anything when it's on. It's just dead silent. I just love the thing. And hearing the
yes, the satisfying click. I hear it.
It's so good. So that guy is actually powering the Klipschorns all by itself. So that 1 watt's pushing the horns.
Nice. I have an MZ3 that I have used to power my 8-ohm floor standing speakers as well.
I can't believe that.
Half a watt.
I know. Like, I mean, it's just ridiculous to have the horns in here. That 1 watt. I mean, you can't turn it up all the way. It's shaking this place at 1 watt. It's amazing.
I'm sure those horns are really efficient. So
yeah, they are.
They can rock it.
Yes, they can.
That's awesome. What else is over there in the corner?
So we have on top of the horn, that's a voice of music, stereo 6v6 hi-fi,
Nice.
with tube pre. That was actually pulled out of the console that my dad and uncles grew up listening to. And the console and the record player were just thrashed. But I pulled the amp and preamp out, and then also the speakers I took out of the cabinet, and then I had the amp completely gone over and made standalone. But that's about, I think that's like 9 watts a side. And then underneath the LTA in the back with the blue VU stuff you can kind of see over there, that's all RME equipment.
Oh yeah, nice.
The ADI2 Pro, and then right underneath it is the UFX, and then underneath that is the Octamic. It's the 8-channel standalone pre for ins and outs and all of this routing that's going on in here right now. And then the turntable stuff. These are Technics SP15s. So they have those tables here, and then this is my main studio cartridge for playback, not broadcasting though. But that's a Sumiko Songbird, and then I use the Sumiko Rainiers, the Moonstones for broadcast. That's kind of the main rundown of what's going on over here. Oh yeah, I mean the microphone, I'm not doing it enough justice swiveling around in my chair. Wasn't ready for this impromptu video recording. Thanks for this. But this microphone is by Paluso microphones in Virginia. So yeah, I'm in love. This is the 2247. The reason I really like this mic is because the preamp, the tube that's inside it, is really interchangeable. So depending on what I want to do, I can use a 12AU7, 12AX7, whatever, and roll tube tone.
Yeah,
so
it's cool to have that flexibility.
It is. Yeah.
I know a little bit about that, mostly from guitar amps, and
Sure.
putting in a 12AU7 gets you less gain than a 12AX7.
Yes.
So changes the tone, saturation, all that stuff. It's pretty cool. It's nice that you can do that with a microphone as well.
It is, and it's fun too, because it's just like it's tinkering that doesn't take all that long to do.
And it's easily reversible.
Totally. And fixable.
Yeah. Plug and play, no soldering required.
And then you get immediate gratification once you've rolled the tube because you're hearing something different.
Yeah.
And so I just, as you can tell, I really like vacuum tubes. So so thank you, and we'll talk soon. And you are tuned into Black Circle Radio, all vinyl radio broadcasting since 2009. I'm your host, Mitch. Welcome, Chris, to the program, and thank you for this hang today and for facilitating this conversation and broadcast being monitored, mixed, and mastered through Audeze LCDX headphones. So thank you, Chris. Welcome.
That was great.